So continuing with the diagnosis of rabies, the lab diagnosis of rabies is carried out firstly by staining, the impression smears of tissue specimens of brain by cellular stain and examination of the slide for the presence of negri bodies. Then the golden standard test, the fluorescent antibody test, which is based upon the microscopic examination of tissue specimens treated with anti-rabies serum tagged with the fluorescent dye, that is isothiocyanate, and this is highly specific and gives result within few hours and shows good correlation with the mouse inoculation test. Monoclonal antibodies are also being used in FA tests to identify the rabies related viruses. Then there is virus isolation and serological tests also. Virus isolation can be done by the intracerebral inoculation of suckling mice, and this can be coupled with the FA test for a confirmatory diagnosis. The serological tests such as virus neutralization test and fluorescent focus inhibition tests are useful for the detection of neutralizing antibody, and this test can also be used in the study of vaccine efficacy or for determining the immunological status of the vaccines. Now for prevention and control, the same type of vaccines which are being used for domestic animals, they can also be used for wild animals, with the exception that, or with this one thing which is not there, is that normally in case of wild animals, this attenuated parenteral rabies vaccines are discouraged because it has been seen to lead to vaccine induced diseases in wild animals. So the bait vaccine is being given, or oral vaccination is being followed in free ranging reservoir hosts in all countries where rabies has been eradicated. The vaccines which are being used in other mammals are vaccine derived from nerve tissue of adult animals such as sheep, goat and rabbit, vaccine derived from avian tissue, chick or duck embryo, and vaccine derived from cell culture, the human diploid cell strains or the animal cell cultures. And the immunization schedule can be prior to exposure parenterally on the 0th, 7th or 21st day, or after exposure on the 0th, 3rd, 7th, 14th and 28 days, which is the 5-day schedule. Now the control is, the first primary control is that the mixing of the sylvatic cycle of the wild animals and the pastoral or the urban cycle, it should not get mixed. The disease should not pass from the foxes or raccoons or wildlife animals to the domestic animals, or vice versa. This can be avoided by limiting deforestation, or as it happened in Wuhan, where that market was there, the exhibition was there. So the free ranging animals should not be collected as pets for exhibition or for lab facilities, and they should not be translocated for conservation, wildlife management or commercial purposes. The movement of the animals should be restricted, or it should be done very carefully with full precautions, or after vaccination of those animals. So this in short completes the rabies in wild animals.